Last year I lost most of my carrot crop to rabbits, and that was just a few carrots. This year I am planting lots of carrots, lettuce, kale, and other things that rabbits love to eat. So I'm going to need a fence around all of my patches to keep the rabbits out. It will also need to be built for as cheap as possible. The first thing I need to do is make some fence posts. To keep the fence as cheap as possible, I am making the posts out of some old logs. All I need to do is cut them into 1.2 meter lengths. It took me about an hour of sawing to get bored and just get the pole saw out. I then finished cutting all of the posts in about half an hour. Now I just need to put them in the ground. I'm spacing the posts 4 meters apart and bash them into the ground with the back of an axe, which takes a long time, about 15 to 20 minutes per post, and I will be needing 32 posts. The larger corner posts are too big to be bashed into the ground, so I'm digging a hole about a foot deep and placing the post in. I tried just filling in the hole and compacting the dirt, but the post was really loose. To make the post secure, I hammered in some planks of wood right up against the post. Then after filling in the hole and compacting the dirt, my post was really solid. The corner posts will be under the most strain from the wire, so I'm bracing them with some logs placed at 45 degrees from the post. I'm burying one end in the ground, and after cutting the other end to meet flat against the post, I then drilled it onto the post with a big bolt. Unless I'm going to climb through an electric fence every time I want to pick a carrot, I'm going to need a gate. To save money, I'm using an old chicken coop door that we got for free on Facebook Marketplace. But first I have to turn it from a door into a gate. I started by removing the hinges. Then I measured out the size the gate will need to be and cut the door down to size. After screwing the gate together, I put the chicken wire back on using nails. I'm reusing the hinges that came with the door, but I'm only putting one hinge loosely on the post, because my corner posts are not strong enough to support the gate. Because I'm building an electric fence, to prevent the wire from grounding, I am mowing the grass as short as possible, before putting the wire on. To hold the wire on the posts, I have bought lots of ring insulators, and I am using 6 on each post, placed 5 centimeters further apart each time. Luckily they came with a drill bit, so I don't have to screw them in with pliers. To get the wire around the corner post without touching the post, I'm using 2 insulators, so that the wire will go around the outside of the post without touching it. To attach the wire to the end posts, I'm using strain insulators. These insulate the live wire from the wooden post. After tying about 8 of them, I noticed that I was tying them wrong. They should be tied like this, not this. Now I just need to put the wire on the fence. I'm walking backwards while unravelling my reel of wire and hooking it onto the insulators. It only took a few minutes of walking backwards to walk into the tripod and break a hole in the bottom of the camera. I'm using plastic tensioners to tension the wire. All you have to do is twist the handle and the wire will tighten. I thought I would need a few tensioners on each wire, so I had bought 18 of them, but I only used 6. To electrify the fence, I've bought a battery and energizer. I'm wiring the energizer ground wire to the ground rod, the live to the fence, and the jump leads onto the battery. To prevent the battery and energizer from being stolen, I have buried them in a hole with planks on top to make them harder to find. I wire the fence so that there is a pattern of live and ground wires, so that if a rabbit jumps through the fence it will still get shocked because it will touch a live and ground wire and the circuit will still be completed. But for now I've just made them all live. Once I made the fence live, I noticed that the wire was touching the corner braces, so I drilled in some insulators to hold the wire off the post. Even when trying to keep the fence as cheap as possible, I still ended up spending £237, including the battery and energizer, which is £850 cheaper than if I had bought a £900 kit that does not even include the battery and energizer. The only reason I've ceased to sow this year is that Currytail Nursery gave me tons of free seeds, and you can get 20% off all orders over £5 on currytailnursery.co.uk if you use the code GrowingStuff. The only maintenance I have to do to the fence is to keep the grass short under the wire, and to keep the battery charged, which I only have to do every week or 2. The only thing I wish I did differently is make the paths inside the fence wider, because they are a bit narrow to get a tiller through. The complete fence is about 200 meters long. It has 6 wires, and actually stops rabbits from getting in and eating whatever I am growing.